This is a quick brief on NUCAPS soundings. I'm Scott Lindstrom from SIMS. NUCAPS is an acronym, NOAA Unique Combined Atmospheric Processing System. These are profiles that are produced independent of model data. They use the CrIS, that's the Cross-Track Infrared Sounder instrument on Suomi NPP or NOAA 20, combined with the ATMS microwave instrument also on those satellites. AMSU and MHS and EASI data are used on MEDOP. Over CONUS, the profiles are produced about halfway between the regular synoptic sounding times. In the afternoon, this is a good time to assess convective destabilization. Large swaths of profiles are available in clear and cloudy regions. The entire orbit of NPP is available in the Northern Hemisphere globally in AWIPS. NOAA 20 will be also. In the Southern Hemisphere, the data cuts off at 40 south. Overpass times for different parts of CONUS are shown. These times are approximate, but they don't change much from day to day. When NOAA 20 soundings are also flowing into AWIPS, you'll get two adjacent and sometimes overlapping swaths 50 minutes apart. The box at the bottom outlines what kind of vertical resolution you can expect in the troposphere from NUCAPS, both for temperature and for moisture. NUCAPS data are in AWIPS under the Satellite tab. Click on NUCAPS sounding availability to get a plot as shown. Dot color tells you something about the sounding. If green, then both infrared and microwave retrievals succeeded and the sounding will look realistic but smoother than a radiosonde. If yellow, then the infrared retrieval failed, but a cloudy sky microwave retrieval did not. The resultant sounding is very smooth. If red, both infrared and microwave retrievals failed, and the sounding will likely look unrealistic. Soundings typically appear in AWIPS about 90 minutes after they were observed, unless you have access to a direct broadcast site, in which case it's faster. There's ongoing work by the National Weather Service to decrease the time between observation and appearance in AWIPS. Here's an example of how NUCAPS soundings can be used. This was a lucky day when sequential Suomi NPP passes both generated good NUCAPS soundings in a region of interest. This sometimes happens if you are poleward of about 40 north. This will happen with much greater frequency and for regions farther south, when Suomi NPP and NOAA 20 NUCAPS soundings are both flowing into AWIPS sometime in 2019. As of October 2018, only Suomi NPP NUCAPS soundings are available. Here's the earlier sounding, near a slight risk as defined by SPC. Convection that produced hail is approaching from the west. The sounding 90 minutes later shows a weaker inversion and steeper lapse rates. This is the kind of information that can be useful in the analysis of the environment as storms approach or develop. NUCAPS data can help in data voids, such as over the ocean, or over land where radiosonde information is not present. Because NUCAPS gives swaths of data, it's useful to analyze large-scale features, such as the Saharan air layer outbreak here that shows up as a pink hue in the dust RGB over the open Atlantic north and east of the Lesser Antilles. The red dot shows where the sounding on the right originates. We'll step down that line into the dry air. The air mass is moist north of the SAL. As NUCAPS soundings get closer to the SAL air, they start to show mid-level drying. Drying increases as you move farther into the SAL. Here's the last sounding, drier still. About 12 hours later, SAL air is denoted by blue points that are dust detections with the GHOST 16 baseline aerosol dust product. A sounding north of the SAL shows moisture. A NUCAPS sounding in the SAL shows dryness. South of the SAL, NUCAPS shows moisture again. This figure compares a NUCAPS sounding on this day with a dropsonde. The spatial and temporal offsets are small, about 30 kilometers in 8 minutes. Although there is less vertical resolution in the NUCAPS sounding, shown in red, in general the features shown in the dropsonde have comparison on the NUCAPS sounding. NUCAPS soundings give reliable information. Here are some summarizing remarks. Links to supplemental training materials are also listed here. NUCAPS values can be presented as horizontal grids as well, and that presentation can give valuable information. Look for those data in AWIPS in 2019 and beyond. This concludes a quick brief on NUCAPS. Thanks for listening.